I read the story about the reopening of A.R. Lewis as the new location for the 6th to 12th grade alternative school. I, along with hundreds of parents, sat in many meetings last year where the district administration and the board leadership said that A.R. Lewis and Holly Springs had to be closed because of lack of funding. I remember seeing the chart of the bars of revenue and expenditures and trying to convince us the funding wasn't there. I voted against closing the schools and actually presented an alternative plan earmarking existing revenue sources to keep all the schools open. Now you found $879,000 to pay for the needed upgrades at A.R. Lewis, plus your capital plan, maintenance plan spends another $2 million to demolish and build administration buildings. It's now apparent the finances were there to keep these schools open, and parents were misled, if not lied to. This is dishonest government. Plus, Ambler, Haygood, and Pickens Elementary are close to maxed out. When I was there, I talked to the principals. I asked them how many extra classrooms you had, and they all said 0. So the Pickens area may need more space and time. So I think you should reopen A.R. Lewis, but it should be opened as an elementary school. Thank you.
And I wanted to mention something that was brought up a moment ago that Mr. Saitta said about demolishing and building administration buildings in the current capital needs plan. No. There is nothing in our current capital needs plan for building administration buildings. So, Mr. Saitta, I'm not sure where you got that information. Yeah, there's nothing for building administration buildings.
Absolutely.
And there's certainly not $2 million.
The fact of the matter is they told us they didn't have the money to keep A.R. Lewis and Holly Springs open, but they later found nearly $900,000 to keep A.R. Lewis open for another purpose, and they approved spending $2 million on administration buildings. John Eby later questioned me, calling it $2 million in spending to demolish and build administration buildings. But this comes directly from the capital maintenance plan that the board approved just weeks before in a 6-0 vote. The line that says demo B.J. Skelton 1 is $400,000. Demo parts of Pickens Middle School and the bus depot for $700,000. Then they do renovations and construction to move and relocate the district-wide technology department, the operations department, which is building maintenance, and the Pickens bus depot for $900,000, or a little bit more than that, $2.1 million for administration buildings. I mean, the heads of these 3 departments report to the Assistant Superintendent of Administration. That is the demolition, the construction, renovation that will house the buildings that these departments are going to be in are smack dab in the middle of district administration. And you notice the chairman, Phil Bowers, agrees with Eby. I mean, in my opinion, both will say just about anything to put the district in a positive light. And I credit Henry Wilson for pointing this out, that this $2 million is going to be spent on district administration buildings.
I think that the $2 million that Mr. Saitta may have been alluding to is where we're going to demolish the BJ1 facility over here that's been standing vacant since we built the new career center. Where there's another plan for that was $400,000, another plan for $700,000 to demo parts of the old Pickens Middle School and to build a Pickens bus office or replace it. And then there's $300,000 on here for AITS, which I'm not quite certain what that. Since we didn't do a detailed review of the facilities plan, I'm not exactly sure what that $300,000 does. And then another $600,000 on here for operations. So I think saying that was disingenuous may be a stretch, since there's $2.1 million in the plan here for things that as a board we've discussed as administrative.
Maybe that gets into definitions of who is administration and who is not. I'm not sure that our maintenance guys or our tech guys see themselves as part of the administration.